might be where I die. Oh, hey. Welcome to Richwine Garage Arts and Crafts channel. As you can see, not in my normal setting. I'm at my dad's shop. Got a piece of plywood here on the center post hoist. And we're going to be using these scrap pieces of metal to make a log tray for the log splitter. Basically what a log tray is when you split a pretty big log, of course you're going to need to split it multiple times. Well, while you have one half that's laying there, instead of having it fall all the way down to the ground and having to pick it back up again, we're going to put that on this tray. So, what's the pieces I got in front of me? I have a piece of a dog kennel, hence why you're hearing the dogs in the background, and a piece of a bed frame. Angle iron from an old bed frame. It's back before the IKEA days, they used to be metal angle iron. And if it can hold people during extracurricular activities, it can hold what we're going to do with it with extracurricular activities. So I'm going to use bed frame, dog panel, the Sawzall drill with the wire brush inside of it, and the Miller-Matic 200 MIG gun, and make this tray. Let me take you over to the log splitter, show you what exactly is the intention of this, and then we'll probably put you on some time lapse and get an AI song or two going about this. So let's see what we can do. Now that I got you guys over here, show you sort of what we got intended. So again, dog kennel door, wire 2x4, basically paneling in between it. And we'll use that to come here and make a shelf. Why we need the bed frame is that we got to brace the bottom of this to go down here to hold up the log. Because, of course, not having any support out here, this would just snap off. Also going to use a piece of the bed frame welded up against here. Probably going to stitch weld it to let this rest on, because this is pretty thin walled tube. It's not anything amazing. So try to give it more life out of that. But I'm going to put you guys on time-lapse mode as I sit here and cut up all the pieces, probably weld up most of it, or at least the angle iron on the end of this on this wooden table. Yes, that's not the smartest idea, but it's not anywhere near the dumbest thing I've ever done. Weld that all up, get this set up, and I'll probably check in with you after we get it mocked up here and tacked on there, and then I'll explain a little bit about the MIG welding, what I'm trying to do. I don't have the camera capabilities to show you real close what I'm doing, but I can try to explain it, try to make it a little bit of an educational moment. So, all right, I'm going to stop yapping, start working, put you guys on time-lapse mode.
Welcome to the garage, sparks in the air, a bed frame and dog crate, metal everywhere, not a showroom shine, but it's real, it's mine, turning rust into fire, one weld at a time. On a wooden table, making it loud, booger welds or not, I'm still damn proud. Wrapped into steel, hold a song at 9, log trays ready, it's built to fight. It ain't pretty, but it's tough and true. Function over flawless, that's what I do. Shake guns humming, bacon-sizzles in my ear, stacking dimes together, making fusion appear. Grind it clean, stitch it tight, sparks rolling down, turning junkyard dreams into solid ground. Dogs barking outside, I don't mind the sound. Dad's old Miller-Matic still holding it down. Scrap into steel, hold us on the 9, log trays ready, it's built to fight. It ain't pretty, but it's tough and true. Function over flawless, that's what I do. 220 pounds on a weld I laid, bouncing on the steel, see if it stays, no cost for time. the scrapyard game. I stake my...
As you saw in the time lapse, I just tacked or basically welded on this angle iron onto the end of this grate. So what I'm going to do is now use that angle iron to tack it within here. I need to grind off the paint on here to get some bare metal and probably take the wire wheel a little bit more. I've already taken in a few spots on here, but I'm not going to weld it all the way along there. I'm just going to weld stick or patches in here. It's called stitch welding. So think of it like stitching fabric together. But I'm going to weld on this piece of angle, and I'm probably going to tilt it a little bit like so. That way the log wants to naturally roll down inside of there. I'm sorry, I just realized that this has been hitting my microphone the entire time, so that might have been really loud. But I'm going to grind off the paint on here on the splitter and get it ready to weld. I'm going to mark up a few spots and then tack this into place. One thing that I did want to share, and this might be the best visual of it that I can get. So you notice, like for instance, let's say that we were going to weld right within here. First off, you want that space in between here to be as close as possible. Second, you want both materials to be as clean as possible, because the welder is using electricity to make an arc, and then it literally melts the two metals, and then it injects more metal and bonds them together. That's what welding is in a very basic terminology. And I'm not going to go deep into the science. I'm not a professional welder. But basically, you're melting two metals together and adding filler metal inside of there. So you want both surfaces to be really clean and really close. On that, let me grab the gun. So from there, you gotta forgive the dogs barking. From there, on your MIG welder, this is your MIG welder tip. This one's obviously seen a lot of use, but basically there's shielding gas that comes out of this tip that goes around and helps shield it from oxygen so it doesn't instantly corrode and has the best fusion. But this wire, as you pull the trigger on the gun, the wire comes out, and that's the filler wire, and it focuses and also makes your arc to melt those metals together. So as you're going down this, typically, or the way I always learned how to do it, was to make really small circles from piece to piece. You'll hear people or welders say stacking dimes. That's because it should look like a stack of dimes that's fallen over and they're all laying on top of each other. Another good thing to know, especially for MIG welding, if you're having a good MIG weld, is that it should sound like really aggressive frying bacon. But that's the very, very basics of this. If you ever get into welding, Harbor Freight does sell welders that are cheap, but they use flex core wire. They don't have any of that shielding gas. They make a lot of Spaldings, or a lot of crap flies around from the weld, and any grinder can make any weld look amazing. But for what we're doing, I wanted to use Dad's Millermatic 200 as shielding gas, and it's a very reliable piece of machinery to make a nice weld on here, because this is going to get a lot of weight put on it with logs and everything else and get abused over time. But that's Rob's real quick explaining of welding and what we're doing with it. Let me go ahead, throw this up on here. I'm going to throw you guys back on a time lapse. If the song hasn't finished yet, I'll come up with another song. But I'm going to grind this thing, clean metal, put that metal up to that metal, fuse them. So let's get going.
Scrap into steel, sparks light the sky. DIY forever, I'll give it a try. It ain't pretty, but it's built to last. Richwine Garage, welding the past. Scrap into steel, holding strong tonight. Long trays ready, it's built to fight. It ain't pretty, but it's something.
Well, we have something. Is it pretty? No. No, it's not pretty. Is it functional? So far, it seems like it's going to be. Again, we used bed frame in 3 different pieces. And then we'd used a dog crate door or dog kennel door. It's booger welded on there. I'm not going to lie. It's very much booger welded. I guess the ultimate test for it. Let's see if it can hold 220 pounds. Wow. What? This might be where I die. Hell, hey. Even with me bouncing. Awesome. Well, to be honest, I'll probably use it a few times before I paint it, just to make sure that everything's going well with it. And probably next week's video, I'll be splitting some wood with this. But I'm very excited for this. Do I think it'll last forever? Probably not. But it'll make it easier. It'll make it easier splitting wood. And I'm looking forward to it. Looking way forward to this. But anywho, now I get to do the normal YouTuber thing. If you could comment, like, subscribe, that'd be amazing. I'm trying to grow the channel, of course. I'm very much starting this. And again, I want to thank you guys for watching these types of videos. I very much enjoy making these videos because it makes me get out and do things. Like calling up my dad and saying, hey, do you have scrap metal I can make arts and crafts with? My dad will always tell you, you see any of these old metal bed frames on the side of the road? Stop and pick them up. I mean, metal ain't cheap these days. And something like this was anywhere from $100 to $300 to get a bolt-on thing, and I would have still had to adapt it to my splitter. Other than time today, don't have anything in this. And honestly, for something like this, this would have been a perfect thing for a welding project for somebody to learn on. I mean, my welds are nowhere near perfect or pretty, but you know what? They're functional. And sometimes that's all you really need. So I again want to thank you guys very much for watching this. And I got a mess to clean up. I should probably go do that. And then I gotta split wood. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not looking forward to splitting wood. I need to do it. All right. I guess I'll go get back to work.
Function over flawless, that's what I do. 220 pounds on a weld I lay, bouncing on the steel, see if it stays. No cost for time, sweat and flame. In the scrapyard game, I stake my name. Scrap into steel, sparks light the sky. DIY forever, I'll give it a try. It ain't pretty, but it's built to last. Richwine Garage, welding the past. Scrap into steel, holding strong tonight. Long trays ready, it's built to fight. It ain't pretty, but it's something true.